Hey folks, Rob back with another C64 gameplay. This time we're looking at Ranarama, which was originally developed for the Spectrum by Steve Turner of Graftgold and ported by Gary Foreman, who actually worked on the 64 conversion of Rainbow Islands. So the basic synopsis is you're Mervyn, a typical sorcerer's apprentice who has found himself trapped in a series of dungeons being invaded by evil warlocks. In the process of trying to escape them, he was messing about with some spells to try and improve his looks, how utterly vain, and in the process turned himself into a frog. So where that leaves you as in control of Mervyn is you have to explore the dungeons, defeat the warlocks, and hopefully find the spell to reverse his change of appearance. It's actually a really interesting game. I originally first got it on a copy of Zap, and I never really clued with it back in the day. And I think it was just because part of it is the graphic style. Because it was originally a Spectrum game, it tends to use that monochrome coloured look, and on an old terrible TV, my TV back in the day was really terrible. It actually was losing one of the channels, so there was sort of this murkiness to the picture, and it made this game just look a lot worse as a result. So, that out of the way, let's dive in. Well, we're already up to an interesting start. So you can sort of see Mervyn. In this room, there's the red block in the middle is sort of a generator, and you've got a creature, and the enemy that's floating at the top right is one of the warlocks. So let's dive in. So this is Ritualistic Combat, and the idea here is pretty simple. It's essentially to spell Ranarama. So you go through left to right move pieces, button to switch. When you defeat the warlock, they'll throw those ruins out. And the ruins you could use to upgrade, which is this inverted triangle. That's a glyph. So I hold the button there, I actually access the glyphs, and I can see what's available. Now, right now, so here's the spell list. So the basic idea is you defeat warlocks and they release ruins. The ruins you use to upgrade your abilities. And your abilities are essentially divided between these four spells. Power, which is your overall energy level. Offense, which is your weapon. Defense, which is how you handle damage, and effect is a sort of a special ability. Drain tells you how long, in this case it's a minimum drain, and it's if you use more powerful spells but you don't upgrade your power spell to match, the drain will run longer. And ruins are what ruins you've collected. So in this case, we currently have a psychic power spell, which is your default. Then you've got a basic attack spell, basic defense spell, and find will reveal hidden doors. This next ruin, sort of starry thing, is basically a smart bomb. Will clear everything in the room. On the right of the screen, you've got your power bar, which is a nice addition to the C64 version. This wasn't in any of the other 8-bit versions. Now, the next ruin, this eye, allows you to view basically a floor map of the entire level of the dungeon. There's also a fourth ruin, which is, I think, the ruin of travel, and that allows you to move between dungeon floors. So, already you should be getting two games that this resembles. Gauntlet, for obvious reasons, but the other surprisingly Paradroid, which I think is one of the things now. I'm actually in a bit of a dangerous situation now because that power spell is about to run out, and it has. So now, Mortal, which is power level 1, and that essentially means I need to go find I need to upgrade stat. If my bar runs out now, I will die and it's game over. So, that diamond thing is an energy pickup. Now, you don't get points for destroying the things that come out of generators, sadly. So you have to try and get them out of the way quick. So you can see from the... So you can sort of see from the art style, it's very... As I refer to it being Spectrum, is because of the way, you've got this sort of dominant blue with black sprites. Alright. Excellent. Another warlock. Excellent. And of course, if you run out of life force, which is your sort of time limit, you get penalised pretty heavily. Okay. Excellent. So now I've upgraded my power spell to level 3, which puts me in a better position. And because I'm still, like, all the other level 1 spells, I'm actually in a better position as a result. So controls themselves are standard 8-way directional, at least in the normal mode. And then you tap fire to shoot, fire in direction to shoot, hold down fire to use your effect spell, which in this case is the curses being down. I haven't got enough to get a power spell. Hate when this happens. When you So I had a really good game of this a few days ago, and it sort of was like, ooh, maybe I'll put this on the list to finally have a look at. Excellent. Alright. If I don't find a spell soon, I'm doomed. Alright. So, let's grab that rune of... Okay. So you sort of see we've got most of the level explored. Still got a fair way to go. And another taking cue from Paradroid, if you actually get rid of all the warlocks on a level, the room will actually turn black. So now in this room, we've actually got the travel room, which is this diamond between the two generators. So if I wanted to, and I'm not prepared, really not prepared for it, I can at least show you the... Okay, so in that case, I could have gone down, but it was like, but I decided, I went down, actually, you would have seen level 2, but I just went back up, because it's like, really, I'm not ready for it. You want to have, yeah, you want to, alright. Yeah, the challenge is going through and really just finding him. There are... thankfully, got an energy. There are actually later spells which, later sort of bonus spells that will allow you to see all the warlocks on the map with... Okay. Yeah. collision deck is a little imprecise sometimes, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Alright, let's keep going. Alright. Well, there's something about these dungeons. Okay. Okay. Alright, we go down the screen, you can see. Alright. Yeah, controls a little, I mean, they're not as smooth as I'd like. And to be honest, I wonder how much that comes from being just a port. I mean, these graphics, if your TV, like I'm lucky I've got, you know, a composite output that I'm using rather than RF. And I wonder how, and that's certainly why I don't think I got into this game back in the day. It's just realizing that you know, a lot of RF noise. But now, I think with a better display, it's sort of able to be enjoyed. But to be honest, I think I think that the style should have been done differently in the adaptation. You compare sort of, I guess, I've seen some shots of the, oh, I need to cast a power spell. And I think I'm done for, yep. Is it worth going for another play? I think that's actually enough. I think you get the idea of the game. I really wanted to get far enough into the second, like at least the second level of the dungeons there. And I enjoyed the game, but I think the conversion could have been better. It's just a lot of little tightness in the controls. They don't feel as tight as they should. And it makes the game look true. Like you saw that bit where I was just sort of trying to get back into the corridor from the side room. And sometimes, I mean, I feel like there's a bit of randomness in the way the levels are executed, and I think that makes the game a little harder as well. It's a solid game. I think if the C64 is the only machine you've got that you can play it on, definitely check it out. But if you've got access to a Spectrum or a CPC, I'd probably say check it out there instead. Anyway, so that's my sort of little quick run through of Ranarama. I hope you enjoyed it as always. If you enjoyed the video, give a thumbs up, and you should hopefully see, you know, a couple of other ones that you might take your fancy. Failing that, if you want to see more, please do hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one.